What's up, everybody? Adam Pierce here, just taking a moment to wish everybody out there celebrating a very, very happy 4th of July. May your bellies and your hearts be full today. May addition win the collision with division. And may everybody love somebody today and fill the night with fireworks. And if I may, courtesy of my brother Joe, I want to raise a glass. Here is a toast to bread. For without bread, there ain't no toast. Happy 4th of July, everybody. That's good.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 420 of the Hoots Podcast. Hope everybody is doing good. Happy 4th of July. Here is the July 4th, 2024. It's yours truly, the nefarious brother Adam, aka Joshie Lopez, here, ready to rock and roll for another fun edition of the Hoots Podcast here on a holiday. If anybody knows me by now, that I don't take holidays off, so wanted to come on here, shoot the shit with you guys for a little bit. Probably won't be too long of an episode. There's a lot of stuff to discuss this week. Obviously, we got a couple pay-per-views taking place in the Great White North this weekend. So shout out to everybody that's heading to Toronto for Money in the Bank and NXT Heatwave. Speaking of those particular events, you can check out my play-by-play coverage of both events in the results section of WrestlingHeadlines.com. So looking forward to that. It should be a good weekend for me, obviously, from a ROI point of view. But it's good to be busy. It's good to have something to do during the weekend. Normally, for a guy like myself, that can tend to be lonely at times. Whenever work comes up in the weekend, it's a nice distraction. So I'm not going to complain. Anyways, this indeed is episode 420, and I'm sure all the jokes can start filing in and stuff like that, knowing that I'm a straight edge guy. But I'm still amazed by the staying power that this show has, knowing that we've been doing this now for 8 years, and not even thinking that we get past 400 episodes, let alone get to have fun with this with being 420. But I don't smoke. For those who don't know or never met me before, I do live a straight edge lifestyle, and I don't do it in the lens of I want to feel like I'm above anybody that does smoke or drink. I've been exposed to a lot of things and observed a lot of things in my life, and it's just something that's not for me, and that's nothing that I never wanted for myself. So, look, I really try my best not to be a judgmental person. I don't look down on people who do smoke or drink. That's their prerogative. I can have fun with it and joke around, but look, we all go through our own life and shit like that, but it's all good. Really quick, for those who are watching live here, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook, on YouTube, please go to our YouTube channel right now at the Hoots Podcast. Make sure to make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I think right now we're at 530 something, 534 to be exact. So let's increase the subscriber list here on the channel. Try to pump up some new content throughout the week as well. I know there's a lot of podcasts that take little different clips from their show, and then they'll make it like a shorter clip, right? So it's a more topical video, and then they have like this thumbnail with with what they're talking about, and then you have the picture of you with a fake ass facial expression. So, for example, Matt Camp, who got recently fired by WWE, has the wrestling match show, and I'm not knocking the guy. I get it. It's a hustle. It's a hoodwink way to get people to click into your videos and stuff like that. But it's like, okay, Matt Camp does like this angle, and he has like this deadpan look on his face. Like that, Or if you're overly excited, like, hi, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too upfront of a person, or too I wouldn't say body conscious or whatever the fuck it is. But like, for me, I don't know. I would like to share more clips. Yeah, it'd be cool to have nice, fancy graphic thumbnails and stuff like that. But like, honestly, I'm not. I'll be honest with myself. I'm not good at graphic design, and two, I'm not gonna fabricate a selfie just for you to click my video. Like, I don't know. I feel like the content of my work should speak enough for itself, whether you guys like my content enough. I don't know. It's just strange. It's like very disingenuous where you see people have like fake ass smiles and or upset looks on their face, regardless of the reaction video that they're doing. It's a strange thing here on YouTube. But anyways, if you can't do me a favor and you do like what you're hearing and you have been enjoying the podcast, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Not only there, you can see some of the playlists that I listen to when I do my walks. I have a barrage of different playlists of songs that I enjoy for different genres, different purposes. I even have a healing playlist that I curated over the last couple years. It's definitely one that I go to whenever I start feeling down or start doubting myself. So, as many of you guys know, music is a big part of my life. So, like helping people out in any way that I can, where I can make people laugh, maybe change their perspective on wrestling from a positive point of view, or share some good music around. I like to try whatever I can to make people's lives better, and that's one of the main reasons why I do this stuff. And I do appreciate the support for all of you who are still taking time to listen to the show after all these years. So, look, man. I know we got busy pay-per-view coming up on Sunday and Saturday. If you guys have any predictions or matches you're looking forward to for Money in the Bank and NXT Heatwave, I'd love to hear from you guys throughout the show. You can ask me questions. You can comment down below your predictions for the shows. If there's anything that you wanted to mention for Forbidden Door, I know we haven't been talking much AEW on the podcast over the last couple months, but if you do have thoughts on that or the MJF heel turn that we saw last night on Dynamite, I'm opening the floor up to you guys, and we could just shoot the shit here on a holiday. And I'll be answering all of your questions later on in the back porch Q&A session, which is our typical main event segment here of the show. And I do appreciate those who take the time. So besides that, like I said, like the video, subscribe here on YouTube, and also. What will really help us out, expand the reach of our show, is following the podcast on Spotify. That would really, really help us out a lot in a lot of different areas. But as you guys know, I'd like to give you a little bit of an update of where I am in my life and stuff like that when we do these opening monologues. I want to say that I treat this podcast as my therapy session, but I've been very honest with you guys with my journey and everything that's been going on in my life over the last couple of years, especially. And think about it. I think it's like this time last year when I really went full swing with like doing the walks, changing my diet. I was starting to learn how to cook at this time last year, and a lot of different changes was going on at that time period. And looking back at it now, and I could definitely see the difference that it's made in the calendar year. I hope for those who do watch these videos, who have been following along with my journey over the last year, can see the progress that I'm making. I really do hope that, because I don't know, maybe I'll make this into a separate video one day, but like the process of going through a project like this where you have a certain goal and you're changing your life. Obviously, you're taking care of your health. That's very important. But also maybe with this project of, me like shedding weight and going for 205 pounds, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't. I hold a lot of shame for myself to where I got myself to. And I'm not going to bore everybody with the details. Like I said, I could do this in a separate video, but I do hold a lot of shame to where I got myself over the last couple of years. And the day-to-day process of it is also it can mess with you mentally too. I wouldn't say like I try to rush things or like too goal oriented, but like when you are doing almost 10,000 steps a day, I when I first started this, I just did Monday through Friday and then chilled on the weekend, and then I would like elevate the amount of walks that I would do throughout the months to see what I could challenge my body to do. And I think my body's now got accustomed to the fact that I could do 5 miles each day and then maybe a little extra. But like the routine of getting up super early in the morning, doing 10,000 steps, um, and I'm not slowly walking. This is speed walking, and anybody that goes through a process like this, you want to see like instant results and stuff like that. And I think for me, the thing that I'm proud of with this process is that I really decided to take a step back and just like go with how I feel that day and take it one day at a time. I haven't really done a lot of things where like I'm not going on a weight scale every 2 weeks to see where I'm at. Like I haven't really done that much. I've cut out a lot of things food wise that I have been taking over the last couple of years, and many of you guys know when I'm recording podcasts, obviously I'm drinking water and stuff like that. But like, when you go through this process, it really tests you mentally. At least for me, the day to day grind is not easy, and there's a lot of other stuff going on in my life. Obviously, you guys know that I'm in the process of moving, and um, sometimes I find myself in a position where I feel like I'm not. Um, it's like I wouldn't say that like I'm not enough, but like it's like no matter what I'm doing, it some I always find this at least there's something missing, and I don't know what that is. It's like one moment it's like I'm not doing enough, or it's like I'm trying to do everything to make everybody happy within my life and stuff like that. But like when I wake up or when I go to bed, it's just like nothing there. You know, um, Sucks to say that, but I'm being honest here. Um, Kind of talked about it last week where I kind of feel like homesick, and now like this is a lot of stuff I got to juggle about things that are going on. I'm not going to talk about it right now. But like, there's a lot of this different shit that I got to juggle over the next couple months and make sure that I'm going about this the right way with my move and make sure that I'm prepared and everything like that. And it's just like, um, I don't know whether or not I'm on the right path or not. I guess like I see progress. I feel better, honestly, health wise, but is it enough? Maybe that's the thing. Like maybe I shouldn't base that on other people. I shouldn't base on how I go about my life on how other people see me. I guess and honestly, like whatever decisions I make, it has to be on my time because this is my life, and I have to remind myself that. And um, I have enough conviction, and I trust my gut. My gut doesn't lie to me, and this is a lot of stuff to juggle right now. And like, I'm not saying that I'm depressed or anything or something to be concerned about. It's just like you go through this process of like, be independent, try to better yourself health wise, take care of yourself. A whole bunch of shit trying to get money, and it's like, uh, look, I get it's left, man. This stuff's not easy. It's not. I try to make the best out of it. I started working at my grandpa's guitar shop yesterday. That was a pretty cool experience. I thought it went pretty well for what it was. Something's better than nothing, and gonna be doing that during the day, and then do my articles at night, which is a nice setup for now. But I'll admit, man, I feel like there's something missing. Like no matter what I'm doing, whatever, no matter like how good the articles are doing, no matter how good um, the show's doing here, obviously, or the progress I'm making within myself, it's like when I wake up or when I go to sleep, there's just something missing, and I don't know what that is. That sucks. Um, so try to take this stuff one day at a time. I'm not a perfect human being. I don't try to be a perfect human being. Going through a process like this, especially with the workout stuff, it can mess with your head. It really can. Like, I feel like I am making progress. I can say it a million times. I hope people do notice that I am making a progress and I am like busting my ass with this, and I'm really trying to go about this process the right way. But I just feel like if I was just in Florida right now, like all this extra, I wouldn't say anxiety, but all this extra like doubt and questions and stuff like that would just go away, and I could just really start this next chapter of my life. So like I gotta take this stuff one day at a time, make sure I'm got all my ducks in the row, and obviously there's other stuff that I'll have to take on by the time I move on there, and that's fine. But even like for today, with it being a holiday, it's just like great. It's a holiday, 4th of July. A bunch of jagoffs are going to be blowing off fireworks for the entire day, and then making noise to like 3 o'clock in the morning. Whoopity doo, So, like, yeah, man. Excited for the weekend. It's always cool that wrestling's there to be like a good mental escape and keeps me busy during the weekends. Like I said, I'm really excited for both these shows coming up on Saturday and Sunday. Besides that, man, I'm doing good. Obviously, the Chicago sports teams here are pretty brutal to watch, so that's been a lot of fun to sit through. Um, that's that's pretty much it. I mean, like the Bulls are trash, the Cubs are trash. Don't even get me started on the White Sox. They're hot garbage. On a lighter note, I want to give a shout out to the good brother Sam Piopo and his lovely wife Hannah for the birth of their baby girl, Emmy Lou. I saw that the other day. Very happy for Sam. Sam's been a really good friend over the last couple of years, and it's crazy. I think I've almost known Sam now for close to a decade now, I think. And Sam's been a good friend, man. He's been a frequent visitor here on the podcast over the years. I vibe well with Sam. We've checked up on each other. We talked about stuff outside of wrestling too. I knew how great of a person he is, and I know he's gonna be a great father. So, like, to see stuff like that is pretty cool, and like I know Sam's gonna be a cool dad. Like, I know for myself, just where I am right now in my life, like I don't think I'm gonna be a dad. So to see like my friends become fathers, or like my friends get into relationships or getting engaged and stuff like that, that stuff makes me happy. Like I'm never envious of anybody that gets into like relationships or getting married or having kids. I think that stuff's awesome. It really is. I'm not going to experience a lot of that stuff in my life, and I'm okay with that. Like I accepted that, and no, it's just cool. So I really want to give a shout out to Sam because he's definitely a good brother of all good brothers, and I appreciate him being a good friend all these years. So shout out to you, brother. All that being said, though, that's enough rambling for now. When we come back, we'll get to what happened this week in WWE and start getting into some wrestling talk here on the podcast of Hoots. We'll be right back. This is episode 420 of the Hoots Podcast, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hoots Podcast here on episode 420. This 4th of July edition here. Ready to talk about what happened this week in WWE. We got two PLEs to preview and predict coming up in just a few seconds. But before we get to all that, for those who are watching live, please do us a favor and make sure to smash the like button and subscribe button here on our YouTube channel. Let's run the road to 1,000 subscribers. Also, don't forget to follow the podcast on Spotify. It's free of charge. You don't have to pay anything to listen to this podcast. We don't have a Patreon account. So, best way to help me out and help expand the reach of the show is to follow yours truly on Spotify. And I deeply appreciate it. But for those who are watching live, like I said, if you have any thoughts, comments, concerns, or questions or predictions for these PLEs coming up on Saturday and Sunday, don't be shy, man. Hit me up. I'd love to hear from you guys. So let's continue on here. We'll start off with SmackDown this past Friday from Madison Square Garden. Pretty cool spots to see Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halpern kind of have the exchange. You could tell right now just like how popular the WWE brand is now, where you have like some big, not only marquee like celebrities attaching themselves to the brand and talking about it on social media, but you also got like big time athletes that want to be there, that are openly admitting that they are fans. Like I just saw Cody Rhodes on the Pivot. I saw Cody Rhodes on the Pivot podcast, the other day with Ryan Clark and Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder, which was a very good podcast. If you haven't seen it yet, you should go check it out. So it's just cool to see this the outreach that WWE's having right now, and I think it's pretty cool for what it is. Anyways, SmackDown, like I said, from MSG, kicked off with a massive Pure Six Brawl with the Bloodline, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton. They have a 6-man tag team match coming up this Saturday in Toronto for Money in the Bank. One thing that I don't know yet heading into this PLE is what's closing the show. Like, you have multiple matches for good reasons that should or could close the show. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match, Damian Priest and Seth Rollins for the world title, and this 6-man tag match. I'm not sure what's closing, and one way or another, I think there is a big angle that's going to come out of this match with the Bloodline and Cody, Kevin, and Randy. And that's the thing. I'm excited to get into the prediction part of this segment, because even my mind's spinning, just covering these shows over the last couple of weeks and seeing what's going on here with just all this shit. It's interesting. It really is. So all that being said, we had that. Then we had Naomi qualify for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. That was pretty cool to see. Indy Hartwell cost Jade Cargill her opportunity to be in Money in the Bank. So Bianca Jade will now be taking on Candice and Indy tomorrow night. That's going to be a rematch for the King and Queen of the Ring PLE from a couple months ago. So that's a tag match on SmackDown tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow night, also we got Street Profits and Pretty Deadly. They had a pretty funny backstage bit with Nick Aldis, so I thought that was cool. LA Knight qualifies for the men's. I thought it was going to be Santos Escobar, but, when it comes to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, there's going to be a lot of interference and a lot of costing here. I think that Logan Paul will find a way to cost LA Knight the Money in the Bank briefcase. and that sets up their match for SummerSlam. We got all the stuff going on with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, obviously, to look out for. So that's something to keep your eye on with that. Anything else for SmackDown that I miss or pertinent that I should mention right now? No, let's get to the meats and potatoes of what really made SmackDown special on Friday. Look, we all can sound like broken records. Anybody that does a podcast like this or a video show can sound like a broken record, and the segments will remain the same as the time goes on. But Paul Heyman is a genius, and Paul Heyman, I think, put on one of his best performances of his entire career this past Friday night on SmackDown. The disheveled look, just the downtrodden exterior he was carrying himself around with, to the point where they had the bloodline acknowledgement ceremony, and he's like, no, I acknowledge that you're not my tribal chief. And the crowd goes insane. Solo pops Heyman with with the spike. And then from there, you got Jacob Fatu giving him a diving headbutt. And then the bloodline does the Shield powerbomb, Cerberus powerbomb, whatever you would call it. They powerbomb Heyman through the announce table. So you got that, right? Pretty cool for what it was. I think it added a lot of heat. Obviously, a lot of steam momentum going towards the Bloodlines direction, which is good because I think there's been I don't know, some weird agenda towards Solo Sikoa for whatever reason. Like my colleagues for whatever reason just want to shit on the guy just to shit on the guy. I think he's been doing really good work, and the whole thing that he can't talk for himself and he can't carry the load of the bloodline, I think that's bullshit. And only because Jacob Fatu now is involved with the group. Now the group is interesting. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry, whatever lies through your fantasy booking vortex doesn't compute to television. But for those who actually watch the shows and listens to the crowds, to say that the Bloodline or Solo or God have not been working or been a failed act, or Matt Kant saying that they're the NWO Wolf Pack or whatever, fuck out of here. Just need a hot take just to have a hot take now. Oh, I got fired from WWE, so I'm just gonna make a podcast and be a dirt sheet guy. Fuck out of here. But look, man, to even credit to Solo for the fact that the pop that Heyman got when he said that you're not my tribal chief. So the fact that audiences, these same fickle fans of the WWE universe, they're like, I'm so sick of Roman Reigns. I'm tired of his title reign. Oh, why is Roman still the champion? Oh, it's always Roman this, Roman that, Roman this, Roman that. Well, now you got those same fans in these same smart mark territories, even to the point on Raw this past Monday when they had a video package from SmackDown. You get off of that, and we still hear, "We want Roman, we want Roman." Solo doesn't get any credit for that. It's just fake. It's all Jacob Fatu, right? It's just Jacob Fatu. Solo gets no credit. Solo hasn't done anything. Solo's a flop. Okay. Maybe me and you are watching a different show. What comes out of the 6-man tag match should be interesting. I know there's been a lot of conjecture about Cody possibly putting the title on the line against Solo at SummerSlam. I threw out the idea a couple weeks ago about Roman possibly coming in and having the rematch with Cody. Now that's probably out the window due to what happened to Paul Heyman on Friday. And you got the thing here with the WWE titles that you have options. So let's say that Cody fights Solo. Okay, you have that option. You have the option of Cody fighting Randy Orton. That's another option. Things are up in the air. It's not just one concrete idea that you could go with and make it worthwhile. Regardless of the fact, I do believe Roman Reigns will grace us with his presence at SummerSlam. That's probably my main takeaway that I had coming out of SmackDown this past Friday night, besides the performance that Paul Heyman had in that show. I do believe that Roman Reigns now will be at SummerSlam, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure all of you guys are looking forward to it too. So you got that. Then, as we look on here, we have the 6-man tag. Who in the bloodline is going to be in that match? Is it Jacob and God with Solo on the outside, or does Solo find his way and that's his loophole to get the title match? He's in the match and he just beats Cody Rhodes. We'll have to see. But that was SmackDown. Raw on Monday for Boston was interesting as well. More developments with the White Six, obviously. Little different twist this week. The interview with Bo Dallas I thought was interesting, with him saying that there's false prophets parading around, exploiting their family for their own gain. Like, they posted a question last week. Uncle Howdy asked Bo last week, like, do you feel like you're exploiting your brother's legacy? I thought that was interesting. I thought it was cool. Like, that can mean many things. Obviously, you could say they're talking about Chad Gable. It could be something about the Judgment Day. You know, they have a lot of drama going around. That show Monday was full with Judgment Day drama. So it's interesting, right? Like, if you look at the Bloodline and the Judgment Day coming out of WrestleMania without Roman Reigns or Rhea Ripley, Solo and Damian Priest have been holding down the fort for the group, and they're not getting enough credit for it, in my opinion. And I think that's unfortunate. Regardless of how you feel about Damian Priest's title reign, the fact that the Judgment Day probably has at least about a third of the show on Mondays each and every single week, with all the Liv and Dominic stuff, Finn Balor, where he's being shady. I do believe Finn Balor and Liv Morgan are probably going to link up with each other. I think this whole thing with Liv and Dom is all a big tease, and if anybody's going to be making out or whatever, it's probably going to be Finn and Liv before we know it. Because, look, all Liv wants to do is take everything away from Rhea Ripley. Do we honestly believe that she wants to hump Dominic Mysterio's brains out? She's playing with the guy's head. She's using him. She's leading him on to hold on to her championship. It's great. It's good. It's good TV. I enjoy the segments. You know, the little teases where, you know, they had the match with Dominic and Ray drop kicks Dominic to the outside, and Dominic falls on top of Liv, and it's like, oh boy, here we go. And then she's clutching onto his waist to, like, I don't know if she was expected to be dry humped on worldwide television, but that was pretty interesting to say the least. But I've been enjoying it, but also to the point with Damian Priest and everything that's going on with this match with Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor got involved this week. That backstage that they had with Priest and Finn Balor was very, very good, and like Finn saying that ever since Damian became the champion, he's changed. Priest saying last week that the Judgment Day needs him more than he needs them. And now we got this stipulation: if Seth Rollins beats Damian Priest, he's out of the Judgment Day. There's a lot of good things right now to sift through and kind of like take a step back and ponder, like, okay, where we're going with this, where we're going with that. And, got a lot of things bubbling under the surface. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor at SummerSlam is not a bad idea at all. It would be something that I would advocate for. I think that'd be a cool match. Now, Gunther, regardless, Gunther will be fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. Is it Seth Rollins? Is it Damian Priest? Or is it somebody who wins the Money in the Bank ladder match? Just because you win a Money in the Bank ladder match doesn't mean you're immune from cashing in on another champion from another brand. So, again, a lot of things to sift through. Let's see what else stood out for me from Raw. Like the Jey Uso Chad Gable stuff, I thought that was pretty decent. They're going to be having a match on Raw this Monday. Other things I wanted to mention really quick. I thought Liv and Selena's Vegas match for the women's title, I thought that was pretty good. Mentioned the Priest, Rollins, and Balor one. By the way, once again, talk about maximizing TV time. Shout out to Ludwig Kaiser. Ludwig, he's fantastic. I enjoyed that little vignette he had, and he's like, now I'm gonna make it my goal to make sure that I end Sheamus, and I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, let's continue on here. Humana. Just give me 1 second here. Controversy here with Zoe Stark, Dakota Kai, and Ivy Nile. This is a big thing in wrestling this week. Oh, people should get pushes because they are being emotional on their Twitch streams and talking to Sean Ross Sapp interviews and everything popping out of Mercedes Monet's mouth because nobody loves the sound of their own voice than Mercedes Monet. Look, I have nothing against Dakota Kai. I think she's a fantastic wrestler. She's fucking hot. She's very talented. I think she's pretty solid for promos. I thought she did a really good job in what made the match interesting with Io and Bayley going into WrestleMania this past year. I think she's worthy of all opportunities. I do. But the whole thing about her getting emotional on her Twitch stream as if that's a reason for her just to suddenly get into the Money in the Bank ladder match and win the match a week later, like, I don't see it. And it's not like she just lost straight up. Like, there was stuff going on the outside with Katana Chance and Katie Carter. They still got issues with her and Kairi Sane. They practically cost them their shot at the women's tag team title. So it's not like as if Dakota Kai is doing nothing on the show. Yeah, she wants more out of herself. Great. Like, we all can read in the room that Damage Control is probably going to be splitting up soon. And I'm not saying that you should not have wants and ambitions for yourself. That's not what I'm saying here. But, like, just because Dakota Kai got emotional on her Twitch stream doesn't mean you need to drop every single plan just to make her and her fans happy. Like, I know that a lot of people think that the world of professional wrestling should be based on what's talked about on Twitter, my bad, X, or dirt cheap message boards, but it doesn't work that way. Zoe Stark is not worthy enough to be in a Money in the Bank ladder match. It's a ladder match. It's not a fucking talking summit. It has nothing to do with characters. oh yeah, Dakota Kai and Io Sky are in damage control. Maybe they cost each other the match and stuff like that. Okay, if that's your excuse, if that's what you want to run with, if that's your talking point, great. You could go with that. But just because Dakota Kai got emotional on her Twitch stream, they got to drop everything, put the title on her, and she'll never lose another match. Like, I don't know where you guys get that in your brain thresholds that that's just the way to go about business. It doesn't work that way. No, Dakota Kai did not get buried on Monday. So we could stop with that shit. Um, what else? Talked about Ray Dom. I'll tell you what. One thing that I am looking forward to on Saturday is Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. I think that's a match for me personally, from a transcription point of view, that I'm really, really excited for. Like, I'm pumped for that match. I really am. It's gonna be physical. Braun Breaker's been very entertaining. I think his promos have been pretty well too. Like, I don't think he gets enough credit for his promo ability. And I think him and Sammy are gonna have a very good match. Now, does the title change hands? How that goes into SummerSlam, I got no idea, and that's something we'll get into when we get to the predictions. But I am looking forward to that match, and I enjoyed the segment that they had on Monday. And then McIntyre, Dragunov, and Sheamus, the triple threat Money in the Bank qualifier, which Drew won, put on the bracelet again of AJ and Larry. That guy's a troll. He is an absolute menace. But that triple threat match on Monday was very, very good. Very good. Very physical. Was not surprised that it was a barn burner. So it was fun. Oh, one of these days I'd love to see it be a 4-way. You have Drew, Sheamus, Dragunov, and Gunther. That may be the best match. I don't know if it'll be the best match of all time, but that'll definitely be the best fatal 4-way match of all time. Let's say that. You remember that pay-per-view a couple years ago, Fatal 4-Way? I think it was like 2010 they had the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view. I remember that. I don't know. No, I'm not gonna advocate for them to bring that back. No. I'll just stop there. But that's that. Let's do some predictions now, shall we? We'll do this in the style of Excrement, aka Excalibur from AEW. Coming to you live from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It is the 2024 edition of Money in the Bank. Here's your matches first. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match features Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. Next, for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match is Io Sky taking on Chelsea Green, Liv Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. Next, a last chance match for the World Heavyweight Championship. If Damian Priest wins, Rollins will never challenge for the title as long as Priest is champion. If Rollins wins, Priest must leave the Judgment Day. Next, for the Intercontinental Championship, it's Canada's own Sami Zayn taking on the badass Braun Breaker. And main event, it's Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens taking on the Bloodline in a 6-man tag team match. Haven't done that in a while. So, look, man, this card is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. I'll go through this quickly. I'm gonna go with Jey Uso to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. That's my pick. I know a lot of people are saying that maybe Drew could win it, and he's the first one that tries to cash in and fails on the first night. Like, there's been times before where somebody's won the Money in the Bank ladder match and cashed in the same night. I think Kane's done it. Bailey and Liv Morgan done it in the past. Alexa Bliss, I think, did it in the one in Chicago in 2018 too, if I'm not mistaken. I think Jey Uso's the right guy to hold it for now. I don't see Drew winning the match. I do see CM Punk costing Drew McIntyre the Money in the Bank ladder match. I do believe that. I think that for sure that Drew McIntyre will not win Money in the Bank, and CM Punk will cost Drew McIntyre the Money in the Bank briefcase. Anyways, let's continue on here. Let's go to the women's match. I'm with everybody else. I'm going with the popular vote here. I'm all in for Tiffany Stratton to win this Money in the Bank briefcase. It fits her character so well. But also, I am not opposed to Chelsea Green winning it. Um, the wild card here for me for this match would be Naomi. That'd probably be my third option as far as like who I think could possibly win the match. So it's Tiffany, Chelsea Green, or Naomi. Those are the ones that I'm going with. As far as the World Heavyweight Championship match with Damian Priest and Seth Rollins, I do believe Seth Rollins will win. And think about this from long-term storytelling point of view. Wasn't it Damian Priest that cost Finn Balor the World Heavyweight Championship at last year's Money in the Bank? Remember, he won the match earlier in the show, and he teased and cashed in while Balor was fighting Seth Rollins, and then again at SummerSlam. Funny how things change in a year, right? It spins around and round and round like that. Finn Balor is going to cost Damian Priest the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins will be your new World Heavyweight Champion, and that'll be the second time Seth Rollins has won a World Championship in Toronto. Don't forget that fantastic WWE title match that Seth had with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in 2019. That was a fantastic match. So I got Seth Rollins walking out of Toronto with the World Heavyweight Championship, and Priest will be out of the Judgment Day by Finn Balor. That's how I go about it. I have Sami Zayn retain over Braun Breaker. It's going to be one of those flash pin scenarios, so don't start throwing hissy fits like, oh, I can't believe the match was decided by a roll-up. I can't believe that Braun Breaker's first loss on the main roster is to an inside cradle in a small package. I can't believe it. It's so ridiculous that Braun Breaker loses his first match on the main roster due to a roll-up. You're going to be all right. It's not the end of the world. It's a wrestling move in a wrestling match. Sami Zayn beating Braun Breaker is not a problem. Like, you're going to be all right. It's not the end of the world. Trust me. Let's continue on here. And then we got the main event. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens against the Bloodline. I have the Bloodline winning only because I believe Randy Orton is turning on Kevin Owens, and they are fighting each other at SummerSlam. I think Randy drops Kevin with the RKO. Be curious to see what happens tomorrow night on SmackDown. If my senses are telling me that Randy's going to turn on Kevin, I can see that happening. Maybe it's something where they have accidental contact with each other, like they bump into each other or they accidentally hit each other with one of their moves. Let's say this for fantasy booking purposes. They get into a brawl, right? All hell's breaking loose at ringside. We get this massive ass brawl. Kevin Owens, like, he's in one direction, and he accidentally drops Randy Orton with a stunner. Just throwing it out there. I think Randy Orton will cost Cody and Kevin the match. That's how the Bloodline gets their victory. Obviously, Jacob Fatu will play a part of it, but I do believe the Bloodline will get the victory in that 6-man tag team match. A 6-man, not a trios match. Not a clusterfuck AEW trios match where everybody's running in the ring every 15 seconds and making the referees look stupid. A proper 6-man tag team match. Anyways, that is Money in the Bank coming up on Saturday. We got one more show to preview and predict here, and it's NXT Heatwave. So let's do this again in the spirit of excrement. Let me take a swig of water while I do this. By the way, for those who are watching live, don't be shy. Comment down below. Let me know. Or even comment below for those who watch after the live stream. Like, let me know. What matches are you looking forward to? Like, what's your predictions for these PLEs coming up this weekend? Love to hear from you guys. Anyways, let's continue on here with NXT Heatwave. And a 5, a 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming to you live from the Scotia Bank Arena on July 7th. It is NXT Heatwave. Here's your matches first on the Countdown Preview Show. It's Carmen Petrovich and Ariana Grande Grace. I got to start over. Sorry about that. Coming to you live from the Scotia Bank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It is NXT Heatwave. Here's your matches first on the Countdown Show. It's Carmen Petrovich and Ariana Grace taking on the team of JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. Next, a match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. It's Nathan Frazier and Axiom taking on Chase University's Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. Next, a match for the NXT Women's North American Championship. It's the first champion, Kalani Jordan, taking on the hot, fast, and rising star, Asol Ruka. Next is a last chance match for the NXT North American Championship. It's Femi and Wesley. If Femi wins, Lee can never challenge once again for the title as long as Femi is the champion. Next, a match made official on NXT this past Tuesday night. It's Roxanne Perez against Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship. And the main event, a fatal four-way match for the NXT Championship. Pits Trick Williams taking on Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Shawn Spears. More matches to be announced. Make sure to follow Shawn Michaels at Twitter at Shawn Michaels and get all your tickets right now at WWE.com. Oh man, I popped myself. Holy shit. All right, here we go. So we got NXT Heatwave coming up. This card is loaded too, man. This is gonna be a fun weekend for me from a transcription point of view. I think JC Jane and Jasmine Nix will win the pre-show match, probably help from Fallon Henley. I have Chase University beating Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Either that, there's going to be some shenanigans that causes Duke Hudson to turn on Andre Chase. I think there's going to be some switch here with Chase U, where somebody's turning on the University. I think it's been coming for a while. I know there's been tension with Rich Holland and Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne. Either Chase U wins the tag titles because Nathan Frazier's too fixated on his own individual singles opportunities, or there'll be a mess up with Chase U and they'll help Axiom and Frazier retain. But it should be an interesting match for sure. I'm really excited for this from a flex standpoint. Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka. It's going to be interesting. You know, we have two very young, inexperienced wrestlers here. I know Kalani Jordan is the NXT Women's North American Champion, and she has a bright future ahead of her. But this is very interesting, you know. I'm sure it'll be very athletic. Maybe it might be clunky, too, sometimes. But I think right now, with it being the first title defense, I can see Kalani Jordan win. But I'll pose the question to you. Do you guys get, like, heel vibes from Kalani Jordan? I don't know. I won't say she's disingenuous, but she does have the tooty good, too boo-boo, like, baby face feel to me right now. I could definitely see her maybe cheating in a way to retain a title, but we'll have to see. Femi against Wesley for the North American Championship. I'm sorry, Wes. I want to go for you, brother. This would be a clash of styles. This is going to be an interesting match. But for me, Femi retains and Wesley will get no more NXT North American title shots. So that's that. I'm going with Femi. I have Roxanne Perez retaining over Lola Vice. This should be a good match. The segment this week wasn't that great, to be honest with you. But I think Roxanne finds a way to sneak a victory over Lola Vice. That's my prediction there. And I do have Trick Williams retaining over Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Shawn Spears. It should be a fun match, but I see Trick Williams pinning Shawn Spears to retain his championship with the trick shot. And that should be a fun match to document, if you will. As always, if you want to see my play-by-play transcriptions for any WWE show that I do, which is Raw, SmackDown, and NXT every week, plus the PLEs, you can check out those articles right now at WrestlingHeadlines.com. So make sure to do that. And I appreciate all of you who are watching live here, especially those on Twitter. I see all of you. Those who watch live on YouTube or regardless of always make sure to like the button. Make sure to smash the like button. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Don't forget to press that bell notification too, so you are always alerted whenever new content is uploaded to our channels. Whether it's a guitar cover, topical videos, whatever, anything new that I pop up on the channel, or maybe maybe you want to check out the playlist that I curated on there, you can check those out too. So, yeah, that's that, and that is what happened this week in WWE. I'm excited for the shows this weekend. It should be a lot of fun, and ready to get to work, if you will. Anyways, we got one more thing to do here before we get to our main event segment, which is the time of the week where we crown a new winner. A segment that could go in many different directions, if you will. A segment that could be quite volatile, if you will, sometimes. But we crown a winner of the biggest jackass of the week, a person that carries himself in a jackassian manner. Just a pure and all-around CLAHN. Yes, indeed. It's time, once again, to crown a new winner of the CLAHN of the week.
I'm not CLAHN. CLAHN. You're big on CLAHN.
One more time for the minute.
I'm not CLAHN. You're big on CLAHN.
Boy, oh boy, where do I start, man? We have multiple winners of CLAHNs of the week. Look, let's start off with the Fox production team from SmackDown this week. Oh my God, the cutting of the screen and the censoring, and look, I get it. Like, I know there's certain things that you shouldn't see on television and stuff like that, and I get the FCC. I went to broadcasting school. I know how this works. But holy shit, man. You couldn't even watch half the show this week on SmackDown because it was, well, obviously you have miscreants from New York that don't care. They're going to chat whatever they want, obviously. But my God, it was brutal. And then Monday too, with USA Network, with the holy shit chants during the when Nikki Cross came out during the Chad Gable Jey Uso segment. Like, it's getting ridiculous right now. It's wild. Like, you look at this, like the censoring of what's going on right now with what's going on right now with like the censoring on Fox and USA Network. It's just all over the place. I don't get it. So they're definitely clowns of the week. All the interviews this week from Mercedes Moné that I saw from Hot 97 and her complained for the fact that WWE is being difficult with her when she was shooting The Mandalorian. Oh, I'm sorry that an independent contractor is having an issue with their contractor wanting them to actually work. Oh my God, such a sin. You're contractually obligated when you sign contracts with an independent contractor. Yeah, you have work to do. Oh, so hard, so terrible, so miserable her experience in WWE. And I'm glad that the crowd in the Wintrust last night was telling her to shut the fuck up, because literally that's what she needs to do. She talks out of both sides of her ass in every interview she does. It's absolutely insane to me. Like, enough already with Mercedes Moné. I've had enough. She's definitely a clown of the week. And last and certainly not least, Chicago White Sox. How the hell are you 40 games under 500 going into the All-Star break? I don't get it. How are we that brutal of an organization? What are they, like 24 or 60 now? Or 24 and 66? Like, God damn, man, what are we doing here? I don't get that. I just don't. I really don't. It's absolutely insane to me. But those are my winners of the clowns of the week. Just give me 1 second. I'm sending email there. Okay, there you go. So before we get to our last segment here, I do want to mention a couple of things really quick about AEW because I did watch Forbidden Door and I watched Dynamite last night too. So I want to share a couple of things here. It's not going to be long, but a couple of things that stood out to me. I did enjoy the Bryan Danielson Takagi match. I thought that was very good. Swerve and Ospreay's main event from Sunday was very good, a very good match. Besides that, Forbidden Door was just a lot of matches that you could see on Dynamite or Collision. I don't know. It's kind of strange that they featured Nigel McGuinness so much. Like he calls like every match throughout the entire pay-per-view, but he's still on Collision. Like, I don't get it. You clearly telling the fans with the pay-per-views that Nigel's like your lead analyst, but because we still got Taz around, Taz is the one doing the analyst work on Wednesdays. Like, I don't know. They need to reevaluate their announcing crew. I mean, that's definitely an axe. That's just something about it strange. It really is. So that's his observation there. I thought Forbidden Door was okay. This wasn't anything to write home about. Like, it wasn't marking out from most of the matches. I thought the Naito and Moxley match was rough to sit through, honestly. It felt like a waste of time a little bit, and that's not a way to make New Japan look good. And shocker, Moxley match on paper that's underwhelming. Said nobody ever, right? Who could have saw that coming, right? I do want to talk really quick about the MJF heel turn that happened on last night on Dynamite on Daniel Garcia. That was pretty nasty. That guy got busted open. And I'll just say this. It's about damn time MJF turned heel because I wasn't buying this babyface stuff and pandering to the crowd. It's been going on for way too long, and I'm glad that the real Maxwell Jacob Freeman graced us with his presence. So, yeah. MJF for sure. Shout out to MJF for the heel turn. I thought it was long overdue, and I'm glad that they did it. So kudos to AEW for doing that, and I think that they had a pretty solid show last night too in Chicago. Bryan Danielson and Pac was pretty good, and also Ospreay and Daniel Garcia was a good match too. So some positive stuff there for AEW. But on that note, we got one more segment to do here on the podcast this weekend. It's called the Back Porch Q&A session here on the Hoots Podcast. And when we do that, I'll be answering those questions right after this commercial break. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got one more segment to do here on the podcast at Hoots. Ready to rock and roll here on this 4th of July. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me so far for this episode. If you have any questions as we do the live recording here, it could be about anything. It could be about life, relationships, anything that's on your mind. And I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. But appreciate all of you who do listen to the podcast each week. I see it on social media and the numbers and stuff like that. It's pretty cool to see. So I do appreciate the support. Anyways, we got questions this week from the good brother Chris Zaletta at XTeenZaletta24X on Twitter. So let's draw up the X here for Chris. He says, "What up, Boost? Here's some questions for the Q&A this week. I know you barely have covered New Japan currently. Don't know how much you have followed lately, but who would be your pick for the G1 this year?" Yeah, that's a good question. Look, it sucks. I miss covering New Japan. Honestly, it helped me out money wise. When I was covering the shows, especially like a G1 type of thing, but shit happens. But I do miss covering New Japan. It's a blast to cover the brand. As far as my pick for the G1 this year, I'll go with either Zack Sabre Jr. or Shingo Takagi. That'll be my pick. I haven't even looked into the brackets yet or what it looks like yet this year. That's how like indifferent that I've been towards New Japan this year. Which is kind of shame. It's kind of the same thing with TNA too. Like sometimes the life on Deans get like taken away from you. Like you have to distance yourself from it for a while, and it just sucks. Like, cause there was a long period of time where I was just doing, um, like mostly outside of WWE shows. Like I had the NWA show, MLW, TNA, AEW, and New Japan at the same time, and yeah, it sucks. I miss covering those shows for sure. But I'll go with Shingo Takagi or Zack Sabre Jr. Thoughts on the behind the curtain doc? I thought it was cool. I watched it last night when I got back from work. Um, you know, people are gonna have their perspectives on who's telling the truth or whatever, but I believe where The Rock said that um, like it was starting to eat him up inside, like it was starting to piss him off the reaction that and the nonsense that was being thrown his way during that WrestleMania season. Anybody could go through, anybody can relate to that, like where people are attacking your character because you're doing something that those same fans wanted to see for so many years. Now that it's going to happen, now people want to revolt towards it. Yeah, it's a shitty feeling. I would feel the same way. So um, it's always cool to see those behind the scenes looks when people come through the grill position after a match or little different camera angles for moments in matches and stuff like that. And they had a little scene where before the weekend they had like a get together with Cody's family and friends at this steakhouse in Philly, Frisco's or something like that it's called. And like Cody gave like a nice little salute for the weekend. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, little bummer for me, obviously, to hear from Triple H's mouth that we were actually going to see CM Punk and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, but it didn't happen due to Punk getting hurt, which sucks. But that is what it is. I enjoyed it. Uh, I thought it was a nice story about the process that got to what it was, and I thought it was pretty cool. So for all in all, good stuff. It was a good documentary, worth the wait. Thoughts on Britt Baker's return? Much needed for AEW. I'll just say that. Britt Baker is tremendous. I thought she cooked Mercedes Moné on the microphone last night. She made her look silly during that segment. It was like DMD here and Mercedes right here when it comes to promo skills, and it wasn't even close. She's fantastic. I've always been a fan of Britt Baker, and I'm glad to see her back, and I'm glad that she's healthy and she's in a good place. So that's the biggest thing. So that's that. What else? Which matches are you looking forward to most for Money in the Bank and Heatwave? Good question. Match I'm looking forward to the most for Money in the Bank for me is the Bloodline Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton match, and also I'm also very intrigued by Damian Priest and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm very excited for that match too. For Heatwave, it's I'm excited for Open Femi and Wesley. I think that's going to be a barn burner, but also the four-way match for the World Championship. That's going to be a fantastic match. So I'm looking forward to that too. So that's that. Did you get a chance to watch Swerve and Ospreay? I did. It was very, very good. With MJF's turn last night, the unfinished business with Adam Cole, do you think that gets revisited or is it done with? I mean, I'll ask you a question. I'll ask everybody that's watching and listening to this right now. Do you care whether or not this feud with him and Adam Cole gets revisited or not? What's there to expand on? The fact that Adam Cole was watering down MJF's true exterior from a character standpoint. That we had the buddy friendship and the kangaroo kicks and laser tag and all this extra bullshit. All for Adam Cole. And I blame AEW this. I don't blame Adam Cole for this. But to make the poor guy run out there, instead of running him through the crowd to the ringside area, you make him do a WCW-esque afterbirth brawl run-in with, like you have Adam Cole run down the stage at Grand Slam at the Arthur Ashe Stadium, make him do this run-in as if it's a WCW afterbirth brawl, and make him jump off a freaking podium that's like 7 feet tall, and he messes up his foot right before they were supposed to have their big match. Or their big angle at Wembley Stadium. No, that was actually after Wembley Stadium. My bad. But still, that's the point. The feud was ruined because you decided that you'd rather have Adam Cole jump off a big-ass platform instead of logically having come through the ringside area. There's nothing to build on it now. Think about how cold the Undisputed Kingdom is right now. They have next to no interest. Roderick Strong's international title reign didn't mean jack of shit. Once again, Wardlow is nowhere to be found on these shows. And where's Adam Cole? Oh, we gotta wait for Kyle O'Reilly to join the Undisputed Kingdom. Guys, it's not gonna work. It's not working. So that's my thoughts on that. Who are your picks for the Money in the Bank briefcases? I'm going with Jey Uso and I'm going with Tiffany Stratton. Those are my original picks before Money in the Bank, and that's my picks now heading into Money in the Bank. So I'm sticking with my guns. I'm going with Jey Uso and Tiffany Stratton. But on that note, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me today on this 4th of July edition of the Hoots Podcast. Like I said, it's going to be an abbreviated edition. But I want to thank the good brother Chris Letta for sending us questions as always. If you ever want to participate in the Back Porch Q&A session, all you have to do is hit me up at Twitter at the Hoots Podcast or the Hoots Podcast at gmail.com. Instagram, Joshie Lopez Music. Also, don't forget to check out my play-by-play coverage of Money in the Bank and NXT Heatwave in the results section of WrestlingHeadlines.com this weekend. And don't forget, folks, be the authentic product that is yourself. And remember, nobody dictates the pace of your life but yourself and the man upstairs. I love you all. Have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Be safe. And we'll talk to y'all next week to recap these PLEs. We'll talk to y'all later. Yeet.